Morning, everybody. I hope everybody is well this morning and had a great long weekend and hopefully cried or did something with the family for Heritage Day. As was said, my name is Brendan Reynolds. I'm the Executive Director at IOPSA. Before we get going, let's just once again, I know you guys must be getting sick of this, but we've just got to keep repeating it. Tips to prevent COVID-19. Remember to wear your mask when out in public. Wash your hands with soap or alcohol-based sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth with unwashed hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze with a flex elbow or tissue. And clean and disinfect frequently used surfaces and objects. And obviously, we recommend to everybody that chooses to do so to get the vaccination. And as many of you may have seen, we've done a series on Tuesday mornings with the health and safety on the vaccination. So if you've got any questions, check out our YouTube channel or the e-learning platform. There's some interesting info on the vaccinations. Today, we're going to be just talking about the preliminary highlights from the Plumbing Industry Survey 2021. As I'm sure most of you know, we do a survey every year in August. We have done so since 2018. And the results normally come out, the full report normally comes out towards the middle or end of October. But for now, I thought it would be interesting for us just to run through a couple of the statistics. So firstly, in terms of responses, this year it continued to grow as it has over the last couple of years. So we started in 2018, we only received 877 responses, and now we're up to 1,075. And I really encourage everybody when we do these surveys is to please give your input. It's really, really, really important that we get the input of as many plumbers as possible. Whether you are IOPSA members, or whether you are registered with PRB or not, or whatever your role is within the industry, it doesn't really matter. Your voice needs to be heard. And a lot of what we do is based on the results we get from these surveys. So please take the time out. Normally, these things take less than 2 minutes to complete. So please, going forward, I would love to have more responses from everybody. In terms of the breakdown of responses we received, this year was the highest female percentage ever since we've been doing it. We started off in 2018 at something like 1.3%, and the responses now were up to 2.7%, which is really great to see. So a lot more women entering our industry, as we know, and I think this represents a number of the female apprentices maybe that might have also responded. Looking at the racial breakdown, it's probably a little bit small on your screen because of the way we're sharing it right now, but still 63% of the responses are coming from white people, with only 26% black, 5% colored, and 6% Asian or Indian. And once again here, it's really important that we get a good mix of responses. So I encourage everybody again next year when we do these surveys, or maybe if we do a survey in between, please, please, please respond because it's so important that your voices are heard. And a lot of this information we then take through to places like the Department of Water and Sanitation or the Department of Labor and those sort of organizations. So it's really important. Having a look at the BEE certificates, what is interesting here for me is that if 63% of the respondents were white, then it seems to me that the majority of white businesses have BEE certificates in place, because 49% of the respondents did have BEE certificates in place. And that's a significant improvement since we started our transformation campaign. It seems to me that a lot more businesses have gone ahead and got their BEE certificates. In total, from the survey, 27.5% of the companies listed were BEE level 1 to 3, which is also really important to note, and it's quite pleasing to see. Of concern is that 41 Black-owned businesses in this survey have no BEE certificates. And it's important for us to point out that whether your business is Black-owned or not, but even if it is Black-owned, you still need to have a BEE certificate. If anybody's struggling with that, please reach out to us. We'll be able to point you in the right direction. In most instances, you can just do an affidavit. If your turnover is less than 10 million, then it doesn't have to cost you anything. So it can be quite a simple process unless you're a really big business. So for those who haven't got it, it's not as scary as it sounds. It's not as difficult as it sounds. It's actually really not that huge a thing to get your BEE certificate done. I suggest to most people, 51% of respondents don't have BEE certificates. Go ahead and get your BEE certificate. If nothing else, it will help your business. Looking at the areas where the respondents are trading, 40% of all respondents are involved in full service plumbing. So in other words, all plumbing services. 28% are involved in maintenance, 16% in construction. Only 13% are involved in the insurance industry, and 3% of people are involved in other categories, that's consulting and other odds and ends that people are involved in. What is very interesting for me here is that the insurance industry has become such a dominant voice. There's so many people that want to get into it. There's so much discussion around it. There's so much arguing and fighting around the insurance industry, and yet it only represents 13% of the respondents here. And when we look at even within the IOPSA membership, it's even slightly smaller. That I think it's 12.6% or something to that effect. So insurance is really such a hot potato, but it's actually such a small percentage of the industry. And we must remember that. What is of concern to me is that we didn't get a lot of responses from the construction industry. And that's something that we also need to work on to ensure that we get some more responses from specifically the construction industry. When we look at this question we ask every year, and it's probably one of the most important questions that we ask in the survey, is what are the things that impact your business's ability to be successful? What are the things that hurt your business? Since 2018 till now, till 2021, every single year, unqualified plumbers has been #1 on this list. Every single year, without fail. I must say that this year, the economy was a very, very, very close second. In fact, about halfway through the survey, I had a sneak peek at the data. And at that point in time, for the first time ever, the economy was slightly above the issue of unqualified plumbers. But without fail, year after year after year after year, the survey results are categoric. The biggest issue facing plumbers in South Africa at the moment, qualified and properly registered companies in South Africa, is the issue of unqualified plumbers. As I said, the economy was a very, very close second, and this is a big change. So in previous surveys from 2018, the economy and the next line item, late payments, have never even really featured. They haven't been big issues. This year, for the first time ever, they're right up there at the top. And I think it's just an indication of where we are as a country, the effects of COVID, and broadly the impact that that's had on the economy, as well as the issue of late payments. And the very sad thing is that in terms of late payment, we see that the main culprits in late payment are, without fail, is government and large corporates in South Africa. Not the small people. It's not the homeowners. It's not the average Joe. It's the big guns. It's government and it's big corporates that are really impacting on our plumbers' ability to succeed. Normally, we would see non-compliant products right up at the top and followed by cheap imports. This year, they've moved down the scale and they've swapped around. So cheap imported products and non-compliant products definitely still on the radar as issues, although they're not as hot a topic as they probably normally are year after year after year. And then bad debts, it seems to not really be an issue because for 4 years, it's been the last on the list. It doesn't really seem to be a massive issue. Mainly in the construction industry, it's a little bit of an issue, but people seem to be able to recover their debts somehow. Then we asked the question, what areas you would like IOPSA to focus their efforts on? Again, at top of the pops is unqualified plumbers. And once again, this has been there every year, bar 2019, I think it was, where unqualified plumbers came up second in the survey. So it just remains the #1 issue. And I'm sure I don't need to explain this to all of you guys, the impact that all these people out there that call themselves plumbers, that don't know what they're doing, that charge ridiculous, absolute ridiculous rates and use non-compliant products and, you know, all the stuff that goes with that, the impact that those people are having broadly on our industry, not only from a financial point of view for you guys, but also, you know, in terms of the reputation for our industry. Then interestingly, the upskilling of plumbers has come to the fore. So this is really great to see, but what it is an indicator for us, and we might need to research this a bit more, is the lack of quality coming out of our training providers, because people are asking us very much to upskill already qualified plumbers, saying that the skills that they have are not quite enough. And then that's supported by the fact that the improvement in the training providers is the next most important area that plumbers want us to focus on. And then fourthly is consumer awareness. And we're doing quite a lot of work on that. Unfortunately, that's a hell of an expensive exercise to do, and we just don't have the kind of money we need. But we certainly, I think we're making some good inroads there. Non-compliant products down the bottom. And then this one shocked me, is CPD is at the very bottom of the pile. I was very, very, very surprised to see this. I thought it would be much higher up. But anyway, there it is right at the bottom there. In terms of the impact of COVID-19 on plumbing businesses, 41.3% of you guys said that your income decreased. 52% said that it stayed the same. And interesting, 6.7% said that it increased. Now, obviously, plumbing being an essential service, we weathered the storm much, much better than virtually all other industries. We're very blessed in that regard. The decrease came mainly in the construction sector, and those that are involved in commercial maintenance. So, for example, where there's big office buildings and that sort of thing. And obviously, with lockdown, the occupancy there decreased a lot. But I think the most interesting factor for me is those that actually increased their turnover. And I think we're going to spend a little bit of time just trying to figure out what it is that they did, why they increased, what did they do right, so that we can all learn from that. And in future, maybe we can apply it to our businesses and see if we can improve things. In terms of service ratings, IOPSA received a 7.5 out of 10. which, to be dead honest with, we're not entirely happy about, although it's not bad. But we certainly would like to be up at the 80% or the 8 out of 10 mark. But you know, at least we're above average. Lots for us to work on, lots for us to improve, and I guarantee all of you that we take note of this, and we thank you for the decent rating. But we know that there's a lot that we can improve on, and we'll just continue to work to improve things and see how we can do stuff a little bit better and be of better service to you guys. PRRB scored a little bit higher than us, which really irritates me. Last year we were ahead of them, but nonetheless, PRRB scored a 7.6 out of 10, and we will be passing this information on to them. I know that they're having a look at a lot of things that they do, and they've sent a number of their staff on customer service training and that sort of thing. So, you know, obviously, I assume they also want to improve their rating. And that's it from a highlight point of view. That's what I wanted to cover. But basically, just to say that, as I mentioned earlier, this annual survey is becoming more and more important, and it's definitely driving the direction and the focus for IOPSA. So we use this. We'll now go away normally early in January, and we'll put together our plans for the coming year. And we very much use the survey results to guide our planning for the year and to give us focus, to point us in the right direction where people want us to focus on. So just again, I'd like to thank everybody that did participate and encourage everybody else to participate next time. That's it from our side. Thanks. Thank you, everybody, for participating, and I wish everybody an awesome week.